Hi there. Firstly, congratulations on taking the leap and joining a virtual wedding fair. Fair play. It's unusual. It's probably not what you expected to be doing. It's not the same as an in-person event, but it is very much the next best thing. And feedback so far from both couples and suppliers, or exhibitors, should I say, has been hugely positive. So look, I'll take you through a very quick demo of the key actions you'll be undertaking as an exhibitor at one of our virtual wedding fairs. I should have mentioned I'm Mike from the Wedding Wizard, and I'll be the one taking you through this demo. There are three parts to the demo. The first is how to register for the live event when you get your ticket a couple of days ahead of the show. And then how to log in on the day of the show. The second part is general navigation around Hopin. Very short and sweet, just how to get around. And lastly, where we spend a bit more of our time, is how to engage with couples at your booth. How to go live in your booth, how to engage in your booth chat, how to know who's at your booth at any one time, and how to engage with people one-to-one. The timeline is in the description of the video, so feel free to skip ahead if you've mastered some of the techniques I'm discussing. So without further ado, let's hop right in. So a few days before the show, you'll get a link to get your exhibitor ticket for that live show. That email will come from either myself or the show organizers. Can you please get your ticket straight away when you get that link so that we can set up your moderator tab on your booth long before the show? You first need to have registered for the event for us to be able to set up that moderator tab. So click on the link in the email. Clicking on the link will take you to the registration page. In your case, you're selecting the exhibitor ticket, which hopefully will be pre-selected. So then you click on checkout. Hopin will automatically ask you to create an account. Now, if you've not been on Hopin before, please do fill in your relevant details first. If you've already been on Hopin before, and you will have been on Hopin if you've done our demo or exhibitor training, click on the login button as you already have an account. And fill in the email address you registered with and your password. Click sign in. You now have your ticket. You can add it to your calendar. Once you've registered and grabbed your ticket, you will receive an email from Hopin. It's very, very simple. It's just you are now registered for whatever the name of the event is. Again, you can add it to your calendar here so you don't forget about it. When you return on the day of the show, having clicked on the link in the reminder email you received from Hopin an hour before the show, or even by clicking on the ticket link that we sent you on the Friday before the show, you should land back at the registration page. Hopefully login will have remembered you because you're already logged in which case all you need to do is enter event. In the off chance that when you do come back to Hopin, it's asking you to acquire a ticket and you already have a ticket, so all you need to do is, instead of clicking checkout, up here it says already registered, log in to access the event. So just click on that button, enter your email address and your password, and click sign in. That's it, you're in the event. Okay, now that we're here, I'm just going to show you very quickly a little bit of navigation around Hopin. I won't spend too long. When you land first in Hopin, you land at the reception page. The reception page really just has some information about the show. Welcome message, if there's any sponsors, and your agenda for the day. Just take a minute or two when you land here first just to go through it. If you're on a computer, the main navigation is down the left-hand side on Hopin. If you're on a mobile device, it would be along the bottom. The key areas in Hopin, and look, in this instance, we have 5 key areas, but not every show has all 5. So every show will have the reception, the stage, and the expo. Sessions and networking are really optional. So the stage is where all your key main entertainment will be, like a fashion show and other panels. Sessions will be a side stage area. Again, it won't be in every show, like I said. There will be booths in there if there is a sessions area. Networking is a specific segment that's typically not in wedding fairs. So you don't really need to look at that right now. And the expo area is where you'll spend 99% of your time. That's where your expo booth is, and that's where you will go to access your booth. So let's just very quickly come up to the stage so I can show you what this right-hand side looks like. Up here, every time you navigate somewhere else and hop in, this right-hand side changes slightly. The event is always there because you're always in the event. But depending on what area you're in, you might have a slightly different navigation beside it. So for instance, right now we're in the stage. So we're in the stage. And here you can chat on the stage chat. And here's the stage chat. So we just do it very quickly. You can go back to the event chat, which is the event chat. It's different to the stage chat. I'll just show you very quickly that when you go into an expo booth down here, I'll just find our expo booth. See, it's changed from event to booth. And in there, in the booth chat, you can actually type it right, but you know what I mean. So that's just high-level navigation around the event. This right-hand column where the chat functionality is will change depending on where you are. There's another couple of very quick things you need to see on navigation. So if at any time you want to know what's going on right now, what's happening, just click on the calendar icon and that will open up the agenda for the day. One other very interesting piece you need to kind of be aware of is the messaging icon. So don't ever feel like you'll miss a private message, and we'll talk about private messages in a minute, but I just want to show you the navigation. If you receive a private message, and just keep your eye on this little icon up here, you will receive a notification. So that tells me I've received a private message. You can click on this and access the private message. So test person just said hi to me. Thanks. And then to shut down direct messages, you can either click the back button or click this X button, and it takes you back here. Okay, now that we've gone through the navigation of the system and you've seen how easy it is to get around, I suppose I just want to take you through the key things you will be doing as an exhibitor at the events. The first thing, and I can't stress this enough, is to update your profile. And the reason why I say that is you want couples to know who you are, who you're representing, and I'll show you how you do it. So in the top right corner, there's an icon. Now it might have your initials on it. So it might say, in my case, MB, but because I have an avatar, it shows my avatar. Click on Edit Profile. And in here, please make sure you enter your name in the first name field, and that can be your first name or your first name and your surname, whatever you feel best with. In my case, I'll just say Mike. And in the surname, in the last name field, you need to enter your business name in brackets. So Mike, the Wedding Wizard. It won't let you close this page without updating your headline. So you can, it doesn't really matter. You can fill in exhibitor, photographer, owner, whatever you feel best with. And if you have one handy, feel free to include your avatar, which is your maybe a profile picture or your logo. Square works best. And I'll show you why it's very important. You want couples to know who you are. Now I'm just going to update my profile again very quickly and just change it to Mike Breen so you know what I mean. So if you had updated as you would expect, first name and last name. Right now, previously I had it entered as Mike at the Wedding Wizard. Very clear who I'm there representing. But if it says Mike Breen, it comes up like this. Now couples and attendees have no clue who I am or who I relate to. So please, if you do nothing else, update your profile so couples know exactly who you are. Okay, now that we've updated our profile, let's get you to your booth. Now, the navigation you experience on Hopin is the exact same thing the couple experiences. I'll show you the only difference when you actually get to your booth. But all in all, everything is the exact same. The couples are seeing what you're seeing. So to get to your booth, click on the expo area and then find your booth. Now, in your event, you might have 10 booths, you might have 50 booths, you might struggle to find yourself. You can type it in at the top, or you can click on one of the filters and just narrow it down a bit. So in my case, it's easy. It's right here, but I'll just say, look, I'm a venue. I'm not a venue. Perfect. So I just click on my booth. Now I'm in my booth. I can manage my booth from here. As I said, couples see exactly the same thing you see. For you, you won't really care about the offer screen. We've updated it. It's there. It's static. Nothing changes. It includes the all-important register interest button, as you know. You want to do everything in your power to get couples to click it. The offer tab is information about your business, what you do, links to your social media, your videos, your images, etc. The two areas you'll be looking at most in your booth are the chat screen and the people screen, and I'll explain them in a second. As I said, the only difference between what you see and what your couple sees is you as an exhibitor, as a moderator, have this toggle to turn on live sessions. This toggle is how you go live in your booth. That's the only difference. Okay, so for your booth chat, and to get there, you just click on the chat icon when you get to your booth. But the only thing I would say to you about your booth chat is that it's a public chat. So anyone who comes to your booth can see exactly what's being said in here. What I would recommend you do is have some messages that you put in there from time to time. Welcome to my booth. Happy to help. Please ask any questions you might have. Perhaps if you're going live in your booth, just update your chat and say, look, I'll be going live in my booth at 2 o'clock. Come and join. Okay, so now you want to go live in your booth. Here we are at your booth. Your fallback video is available. As I was saying earlier, to go live, the only difference between what you see and what your couple sees is this toggle to turn on live sessions. And that's the button to go live in your booth. Click that button. Click share audio and video. 99 times out of 100, it will recognize your camera and video and allow it. Otherwise, it might pop up with a little icon to say allow your microphone. Again, it should pick up the right microphone and camera. Just click apply. And as long as you see yourself on camera, your couples are seeing you on camera. Don't ever feel conscious that when you're in your booth that you're on video when you're not. That won't happen. Because I suppose whatever you're seeing, your couple's seeing. So if you're seeing yourself on camera, that means your couples are seeing you on camera. If you're seeing your video, that means your couples are seeing your video. And then you can see how many people are in your booth at any one time by up here, there's a little I with a 1. Now that tells me there's one person in my booth. That one person is me, so I'm in here on my own. But if that were to say 2 or 3, that means if it's 2, there's one other person with me in here at the moment. That's it. If you need some help, if your video is not working, there are some troubleshooting tips in the FAQs that we'll be sharing as well. So when you're at your booth, you will want to know who's in your booth at any one time. Is there people visiting, and who are they? So there's 2 ways of doing it. The first way is very high level, just to understand the numbers. And we spoke about that in the area of the video where you're live on camera. Remember, there's a little eye at the top of the screen. And that tells you high level, the numbers, the total numbers. So that's a very good indicator that there's other people in here when you're live on screen. And if you want to understand who they are specifically, all you need to do is over here on the right where you're in your booth chat is click on the people tab. In there might be a small delay, but anyone who comes to your booth will pop up in here. So for instance, if Kaylee Breen comes to my booth, her name will pop up in here. And I can see Kaylee. I could even address her if I was live in video. So you as an exhibitor are going to be rotating between the chat and the people tab. The chat to see if anyone's asking questions, and the people tab just to see who's in here. I would say keep this people tab open. Don't ever feel like you're going to miss a chat, because when there's a chat, a brand new chat put in there, if you don't have the tab open, you're going to get a little red dot pops up here beside chat. So that tells you there's a new chat that you haven't seen. So when you see that, just pop over. Is there something you need to answer? Now that you've mastered going live in your booth and your booth chat, the next step is to have a one-to-one chat with someone. To do that, you first need to find the person. And there are a number of ways of finding a person on Hopin. The first way and the easiest way is if they've left a message in your chat. Very simply, you can then click on their name and send them a message. If they haven't left a chat message, how else can you find them? Well, we know about the People tab. Going into the People tab, you can click on somebody's name, and in there you can leave a chat. If they're not in your booth and they haven't left a chat, but you know there's somebody you specifically want to speak to, you can click on Event. Now this is event wide, and you can click on the People tab in the event. Now this is everyone that's in the event, everyone that's registered, not just in your booth. So let's just jump back to our booth and our chat, and let's pick on test person. I click on his name and I click send message. This opens up the private messaging area. In here, everything is private. It's between me and test person and nobody else. So to chat with them, all I need to do is come down here to start typing, and I can now leave messages. He's going to see that message because he's going to get a little red ping on his messaging icon, just like I showed you earlier, telling him that he has a new private message. To get out of the direct messages area and back to your booth chat, all you need to do is click on this X button up here. That takes you directly back to your booth chat. And how do I get to a one-to-one video call? So let's go back into test person. Let's assume I found him through the chat, the people, whatever way it may be. Click on test person. I can directly here invite them to video call. Like I said, I would never recommend that. I'd send a message before I just jump into, hey, come and join me on video. So let's go to send a message, and you might say, hi, want to have a call on that? They come back, yes. You click on the invite to video call button. Now what that does is it sends a little message that says, hi, test, I'm inviting you to a private meeting room, and here's the link. Both of you now need to click on that link and go into the video call. What I always say is straight after sending that, I would always send a little message to say, I've set up a private session, just click on the link in the above message, just to make it crystal clear. So click on the link. Now this opens up the private message, and you can see here it's test to event support. And it's a one-to-one video call. Now you share your audio and video as you would when you're going live in your booth. There I am. And I suppose a couple of things just to be aware of when you're in here. There's obviously no toggle at the top because it's not one of those kind of booths. And ordinarily you will only ever see two people in here, you and the other person. There shouldn't ever be a third or fourth person unless you've copied that link to give it to a colleague to join you in a private meeting. And finally, should you need help at any time during the show, you can find us on event support. Now you can find us in the people tab of the events. Just click on people and find event support, or else you will find little messages scattered around the platform, typically on the event chat or the stage chat or maybe a competitions booth chat, left by event support, and you can just click on the name and send a message there. Before the show, feel free to reach out to us on mike@theweddingwizard.ie, and as I said, during the show, use event support. That's the best way to get us. So that's it. Just a very quick whistle stop tour. Thanks for joining me, and speak soon.